When we're looking at our email, it's easy to get a little overwhelmed. We get a lot of messages throughout the day, and it can be hard to stay on top of it, especially when you have a long list to sort through. Well, the good news is Apple has a couple of features that can help. Filtering, which has been around for a while, and new in iOS 18, Categories. Both of these features are designed to make it easier to manage and organize your mail. In this video, we're going to take a look at both of these features. Now, before we get started, if you like what you see here, stick around to the end. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and how you can help support my efforts in creating these videos. All right, let's take a look at how we can filter and categorize our email on the iPhone. Let's go over to my iPhone. The first feature we're going to look at is filtering. So let's go ahead and open up the Mail app. I tap on it, and we're looking at my mail. Now, right now, this is just a list of email. I have the categories, which was introduced in iOS 18. I have that turned off. We'll come back to that in a little bit. That's actually my favorite way of going through my email with categories. But let's first take a look at this older feature, filtering, because it can still be helpful as well. So as we look at my mail here, you're going to see that I have some of them that are unread. That's what that blue dot means. And then I have others that have been read. What would be nice is to be able to view all of my unread messages. If we scroll up here, you're going to see that I have a lot of mail. Take a look at the scroll bar here. You're going to see there's a lot of mail in there. So it'd be nice just to look at my messages that are unread. Or maybe what I'd like to do is view all of my messages that have attachments. Well, this is where filtering can come in. What we're able to do is filter our emails. We're able to filter what is shown in this list here. So how do we do that? Well, basically, we just go down to the lower left-hand corner. You're going to see three little horizontal lines. When I tap on that, what I'm able to do is view my email as a filter. And if we look, I tapped on it. If we look, you're going to see it says filtered by unread. So right now I'm looking at just my unread mail. I want to look at all of my mail again, including the ones that I read. I just tap on the little filter button again, and I'm looking at all my mail. I want to see all of my unread mail. Tap on the little filter button again, and now I'm looking at my unread mail. Now, in addition to that, we're also able to change what these filters are. As I said, we could also set it to just show our email with attachments. So how do we change what this filter shows? Well, basically, all we have to do is just tap on filtered by at the very bottom. Again, it says filtered by unread, so when I tap on that, what I'm able to do is set what I want to filter it by. So first thing is I can set it to include mail from specific accounts. I have 2 mail accounts on here. Maybe I only want to see my mail that is unread from my Gmail account. All I would do is just untap or uncheck iCloud, and now what it's going to do is it's going to show me all of my Gmail and only my Gmail that is unread. I'd like to see all of them that have attachments. I select this little slider here, and we're going to go with both accounts again. So now I have both of these checked, and I want to see all of them, including the ones that have been read. So basically, I just uncheck this. And now what it's going to do is it's going to show me all of my mail that have attachments from both accounts, even if they're read or unread. I tap on Done. And now here are all my email that have attachments, only one. Maybe I'd like to view all of my mail that was sent today. I can do that as well. Again, we go back down here. And then I'm going to turn this off. I want to see all my mail from both accounts again, but this time only from today. If I were to select that, I'd only see the emails that I received today. So that's how we can easily filter our messages. This has been around for a number of years, and it's an easy way to whittle down all of your email. You only want to see the emails that are unread? You can easily do that. Or maybe you want to see the only ones that you received today. Again, you can easily do that just by going to these filters. And once you set up the filter to turn it on and off, you just tap on the little circle here, and it toggles whatever filter you have on there. We can only set up one filter, but it's easy to change. Just tap on Filter to filter it, and then we tap on Filtered By, and I can easily change what is filtered by. So that's how we can filter our messages. It's an easy way to whittle down our email messages. Now, another way of whittling down our email messages is categories. This is actually my favorite way of viewing my email. This was introduced with iOS 18. And surprisingly, the feedback that I hear is people aren't really happy with it, but maybe it's because they don't understand it. I think it's fantastic. Let's see why. Let's see if I can help you understand why categories is such a great feature. So I'm looking at all of my email here. And if we look, when I scroll up, you're going to see that I have a lot of email here. This is all in my inbox, or both of my inboxes. This is typically how we look at our email. So now what I need to do is I just need to open these up, and I can go through and delete them. I can also swipe to archive them. However I want to go through and organize them. But that's a lot of swiping. You just swipe, swipe, swipe. Oh, I want to keep that one. Swipe, swipe. Or maybe I'm looking for a transaction in here. How do I find my transactions? Well, that's where categories come into play. Basically, what Apple Mail will do now is it'll categorize your email into 4 different categories. So how do we turn this on? Well, basically, we just go up to the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, and you're going to see the option to categorize. Now, this is on by default. I did go ahead and turn this off. So if you want to turn this off, this is how you can turn it off. Just go into List View. It brings it back to its normal, or what we were used to prior to iOS 18. But again, I like to leave it on. So I'm going to turn this on, and let's see what happens. Turn it on, and now we can see we have my categories. So right now, I'm looking at my primary emails. So these are the emails that are primary. Maybe they come from specific people. They're not coming from a newsletter. They're not coming from any type of marketing. They're not a transaction. These are primary emails. So these are the emails that are typically, what I have found out is typically emails from specific people. See, these are my important emails. If we go over to the right here, you're going to see we have this little shopping cart. These are all my emails that are transactions. So if you received a transaction lately, all you have to do is just tap on that, and you can see all of your transactions. You can see that I have 1 transaction here. Now, in a lot of cases, what we're doing is we subscribe to websites and we want to get an update. Not a promotional piece, but maybe an update. Well, that's what this category is here. So it's going to look at your email, and if it thinks that it's an update, it'll put it into this category. So I tap on that, and now I'm looking at all of my updates. I subscribe to Morning Brew, so I get my morning update there. I have my Apple Podcasts. I get my update there. So these are all the different updates. And then our last one here is promotional. So I like to think of this as our junk mail, really. It's not junk mail per se, but these are where people are trying to promote different things to you. So here's Adobe Acrobat promoting something for me. Apple Pay trying to promote something for me. So these are all those different newsletters that are trying to promote something. So basically what I'm able to do just by tapping on one of these 4 categories is whittle down my emails to a specific category. Makes it a lot easier to go and find something. Now, the beauty of this is we can easily go back to all of our email. How do we do that? Well, basically, all we have to do is just tap on whatever is selected. In this case here, promotions is selected. I tap on it. Now I'm looking at all of my mail. It is no longer categorized. So when I swipe up, we can see we have that long list there again. Keep swiping. You can see that bar going down. And when I'm in primary here, I want to go to all of my email. Again, I just tap on primary, and now I'm looking at all of my email. So we can easily toggle in between all of our email or our categorized email just by tapping on the categories up at the top. In addition to that, we're also able to recategorize an email. So let's say you get an email and it comes to primary here, but really what this should be is an update. How can you recategorize it? Well, basically all you have to do is just tap on it to open it up. So this here is an actual update. I don't want it in my primary. I'd like to move this over to my updates here. So how can I do that? Recategorize. I tap on it to open it up. And then we have our catch-all here. This is what I call my catch-all icon. It's how we can reply to an email, forward it, print it. And with categories, it's also how we can categorize it. So now I tap on that and I say, this email is actually an update. So I tap on it. And now what it'll do is it'll move it into the update section here. Now, why didn't it move it here? Well, that's because it is reminding me. You're going to see that it has a little icon there. So what you may need to do is you may need to clear that. How do we clear an email? How do we clear a time-based email? All we have to do is just swipe over to the left, and when we do, you're going to see clear. I let go of that, and now we can see it is no longer here, but it will be under updates. Now, another nice feature with the categorization is it groups your emails together. Well, what do I mean? Well, let's go and turn this off. I'm just going to go back up here, and we're going to turn this off. I'm in my list view. If we look here, you're going to see I have 4 emails that are from Morning Brew. What Apple Mail will do when you categorize is it will group these all together. So let's see what I mean. I'm going to go back up to Categorize here, tap on Categories, and then when we go over to our updates, because that is now in our updates, so I tap on Updates, when we look at Morning Brew, you're going to see I only have 1 email here. I thought I had 4. Well, if we look here, you're going to see that I actually have 1, 2, and there's probably more when I open it up. It's grouping all of those emails together. So now when I look at this list is a lot shorter here because it's grouping them all together. I also have a lot from Apple Podcasts. Well, if we look here, it's just grouping them together, and there are 2 of them, but when I open it up, there's going to be a lot more. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now I'm looking at my grouped podcast emails. So when I swipe up here, we can actually see there's 1. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I swipe up, I'm going to have more. So it's grouping all of those together. So that way, when you're looking at an email, even if it's a promotion, let's go back over to my promotions here, Adobe Acrobat. I don't want to see all those emails separately. Well, the nice thing is it's grouping these together. I tap on it, and now I can see all of these different emails that I'm getting from Adobe Acrobat, and they're all grouped together. And the beauty of this is when I delete it, let's go ahead and delete this. When I delete it, what it's going to do, or archive it, it's going to archive 27 messages. So it grouped 27 messages together. And I'm able to read each one in that group. And if I find out that they're pretty much all the same, which is what a lot of promotional material is, a lot of promotional emails, all I have to do is just tap on Archive, and it'll archive all of them. Or if I want to delete them, I can do that as well. I swipe over this way, and you're going to see I'm able to trash all 27 messages. So if you want to see how many I received from, let's go back over here to Updates. We'll go to Apple Podcasts. I'd like to see how many I have there. Just swipe all the way over, and you can see that I have 13 of them. And I can archive or delete all 13 of them. Or I can open it up and then tap on these individually to read each one. So it's a nice way of going through your emails. Now, you don't have to use this grouping. You can actually use the categorization up here and not use the grouping. So how can you turn that grouping off? Well, basically, again, you just go up to the 3 dots, and when I do that, what I'm able to do is turn on and off Group by Sender. I would recommend leaving it on. As you can see, it works out really nice. You get 10 emails from a company, especially a promotional company, somebody's trying to promote something to you. Wouldn't it be great if it would group those all together and then you can get rid of them all at once? This is how you can do it. Just group them by sender, and then when you delete that group, you're able to delete all those emails. Now, the last thing I want to show you with categorization has to deal with notifications. We have two different options with notifications. So you may be familiar with the badge app icon. Let's take a look at that first. When I look at my badge app icon here, what we can do is we can have it show all of our unread messages, or a count of all of our unread messages. Now, typically what I do is I turn that off, or I recommend people to turn that off. I don't want to see how many unread messages I have, especially when I get all those promotional emails. Both of my sisters have this count at several thousand. It kind of makes it not even worth anything, so just turn it off. Well, with categorization, what we're able to do is we're able to set it to show only unread messages in my primary category. It will not show any unread messages in updates, transactions, or promotions. So as an example here, if I go over here to promotions, you're going to see that I have some unread messages here. This is a grouping. So actually there's more than one here. There's actually about 150 of them in here that are unread. If I were to turn on the badge count, guess what it would show on my icon? About 150. Well, really all I want to see is all the ones that are unread under primary. Let's go ahead and mark this one as unread. Long press, and then we go down to mark, because we're going to mark it as unread, and now we can see it as unread. That is the count that I want to see on my app icon. I don't want to see those other 150 that are over here. So how can I do that? Well, this is done in the notifications, mail notifications. So what we need to do is we need to go to our settings app. I tap on it, and then I swipe up until we get to notifications. I need to go to my mail notifications. So I swipe up from here, and we go over here to mail. Under mail, what you're going to see is badges. Now we need to make sure that this is turned on. So I'm going to turn this on and watch what happens. I turn this on, and when I go to my badge app icon, it shows me that I have 155. Well, I thought I only had one unread message in my primary. Isn't it going to show me the count for that primary? Well, now what we need to do is we need to make sure that that is turned on. So again, we go back over to our settings. We're in our notifications for mail, and down at the very bottom, you're going to see customize notifications. This is where we put it all together. From here, we make sure we check unread messages in primary. That's basically all we have to do. So now I tap on that, and my badge app icons are on. Look what happens. It's showing me that I have one unread message, and that's in my primary. It's not showing me that I have 150 plus emails that are unread in my promotions, in my transactions, in my updates. It's only showing me my unread message count in my primary. So now what I've done on my personal phone is I've actually turned these batch app icons back on, because now it's kind of useful. I can see if I have a new email from my primary account. When I go and tap on this, now that I've read it, you're going to see that it doesn't have anything there. So I know I have no unread messages, new unread messages in my primary category. I don't care about my promotions or transactions or updates. Another thing you can do, this is the second part with notifications. We can actually have it set to notify us when we receive a new email when it's categorized as primary. Generally speaking, what I will do is I will turn notifications off for the mail, because you know how many emails we get throughout the day. I don't want to see those notifications always come across my phone, so you just turn it off. Well, when we go back over here to settings, and again, I'm in my mail settings, I'm customizing my mail notifications. When we go down to the bottom here, you're going to see primary inbox. When I tap on that, what I'm able to do is set it to alert me when I receive an email that's in my primary category. So basically, if I receive an email and it's categorized as primary, I'm going to get a notification. If it's a promotional email, I will not get a notification. So now what I actually do on my personal phone as well is I will have notifications turned on in the Mail app. I never thought that I would do that. Well, that's because I can now just have it show specific emails from a specific category. If this isn't working for you, one other thing I want to show you is you do have to go into accounts here. Again, I'm in my customized notifications, and you need to make sure that badges and alerts are both turned on. So I'm going to turn these on here for both of my accounts. Those do need to be on. When those are on, it's going to show me my badge counts and it's going to give me alerts, but only when that email is categorized as primary. So now it's going to show me how many unread emails I have in my primary account here, and I'm going to get notifications when I receive an email that is categorized as primary, but all of the other emails I will not see in that badge count, and I will not see any notifications for them. So that's another bonus for categorization. You can't do that if you don't use categorization. So that's how Mail makes it easier to view our email. We can use the old school way of filtering, which works great. We have a lot of different filter options, or I should say we have a few different filter options. And then the new way of doing this is with categories, introduced in iOS 18. With categories, what it'll do is, or what the Mail app will do is it'll categorize your emails into 4 different categories. And if it categorizes it wrong, you can tell the Mail app that it's not in the right category, and you can recategorize it. In addition to that, it also groups them together. So if you have a lot of emails, what it'll do is it'll group them together into a single thread or into a single email. And then you can go through those individually. So that's how categorization works. One of my favorite new tools with the Mail app, and anybody that knows me, I used to be a Spark Mail fan, and I still am. I think Spark Mail is a great app, and this is the main reason why. It was able to categorize. Well, now with Apple Mail, we can categorize it, and we can do this on the Mac, iPad, and iPhone, as long as you have the latest updates. So now I am giving the Mail app a new try here, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. It seems to be working well for me. This was a big piece that was missing. So if you're not familiar with categorization, I'd say give it a try. I think you might like it. It's going to be a lot easier to organize your mail or view your email. So that is how we can view our email with filters and categorization in the Mail app on the iPhone. Now, if you found this video helpful, what you may want to do is like the video, subscribe to my channel, or even share it with your friends and family. In addition to that, you may want to check out danstutorials.com. Not only do I have more videos there, but I also have an AI assistant modeled after an Apple genius, and I host classes and webinars on a regular basis. So how can you help support my efforts? Well, it is a membership-based site. When you become a member, what I'll do for you is I'll remove all of the ads from the videos. You're also going to get access to that AI assistant, and you're going to have access to my classes and webinars. In addition to that, you're also helping support a small business. It is just me in a corner office of my house. I'm not part of some large organization. So when you become a member, you are directly supporting my efforts in creating these videos. Check out danstutorials.com for more information, and thanks for watching.